Hello everybody, this will be a tutorial on OBV, or on balance volume, the indicator that you see on my screen on the bottom. This will be an example video of how to trade it and just kind of how to interpret it, interpreting when you look at price and on balance volume. If you guys learned something new from this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Plus, I'll leave this in an advanced trading course playlist, so feel free to check out my playlist in my channel too for more videos like this. Anyways, it's mainly what on balance volume mainly is, and what you can think of it is volume coming in and total volume coming out of an asset, really. And so most of the time, sometimes it can be a pretty good leading indicator, especially on the daily time frames. Just recently, back in Bitcoin's top, back in December here, you could see if we drew a trend line simply from the highs of the range from November to December, roughly. Right here, you can see that we were having a bearish divergence here. And so this is a pretty good sign of a market reversal, usually with on balance volume in trending markets. Now, where it comes useful too in kind of more local trading is when we have a long range. So this is a very, very good example of a long range. And so typically whenever you guys have a long range, you want to find a common trading point on balance volume. And so I like to draw a horizontal line. And so you can see right here that we were getting touches all around this horizontal line. And finally, when on balance volume decided to break the total range, price went down significantly with it. And so you guys can think of this as price is trading in a long sideways range, same as on balance volume. Usually on balance volume will be the first one to break down or break up, and this will determine the direction of the future market price. And so in this case, on balance volume broke down, and this led to kind of the range continuing to the downside. And so again, this is a pretty good leading indicator. It works well on local time frames, especially when you're ranging. And again, I like to use it on the higher time frames, like the daily, for example, and use it as a leading indicator for a potential major trend reversal, like I showed you guys earlier in the Bitcoin example. And so really, right here is another kind of a good example. In this case, I will use a trend line and just kind of connect the lows like so. And so I drew the lows on the on balance volume, and what did price do? It kind of broke down. Now it's kind of coming back up as we are it looks like we're kind of coming back up to retest this trend line, and then we'll see what really happens. But again, this is a good indicator of potential leading where price is going. So again, what you want to look for when you're trading locally is, again, you want to see ranges, a sideways market. And so here is a good example again, where we have a horizontal line. On balance volume is kind of trading horizontally, same as price. On balance volume decides to kind of break down below it. Can't really see it too well, but it decides to break down below this trend line. So right about here, we started breaking down, and then shortly after, price considered to drop down with the on balance volume. So again, it's pretty straightforward. Again, just look for ranges, use on balance volume. It's pretty easy. You don't really need any settings. I don't use the smoothing line or anything. It's not really necessary, but on balance volume, again, just looks at the total amount of volume coming in to the asset and then the total amount of volume leaving the asset. So not to really get confused with money flow, but it's kind of the same aspect in that way. Typically, you want to follow whatever on balance volume is doing. And as you can see in the examples as shown, it will lead to a leading indicator in price. And so again, here is another example where I'll just draw a trend line like that. I'll just extend it out. I'm connecting the two lows I see. And really, as soon as price breaks below that trend line, price falls significantly. Usually, as a general rule of thumb, you want to use trend lines compared to horizontal lines when price is in a trending market. So this is kind of an example where we're getting higher highs in a trending uptrend as unbalanced volume is coming up. So a trend line is necessary for this. So you would just connect it like that. And here you can see price drop down. And so this was a clear example of an uptrend. I'll try to find an example of a clear downtrend. Let me see here. So right here, you could see that price was coming down. And on balanced volume, you disconnect the highs when price is going down. And so you just extend it out on the tips of the highs. Trying to get this trend line well like that. And here you can see as soon as unbalanced volume broke above this trend line, it led to sort of a breakout in price. And so again, unbalanced volume doing a pretty good job of being a leading indicator. Again, I like to use unbalanced volume with Market Cipher, but you guys can use whatever indicators you want along with it. It works pretty well just for like determining where price is going to move next. It's not always accurate, but again, it gives you a pretty good, clear example of where price is going to move. And so that's pretty much it for the video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and check out my other videos in my playlist. I will continue to keep on adding videos like that in the future and just continuing as the channel grows. So feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.